Welcome. This video explores why network security policies matter because technical controls are only as strong as the rules behind them. We'll walk through a scenario where missing rules led to a breach and end with a question we'll answer throughout this lesson. Think about a lock on a door. A lock can secure a door, but it can't decide who should have a key. The same is true for every security tool on a network. The technology does its job, but only if someone has written down what that job is supposed to be. That decision requires a documented policy. Without one, configurations drift, devices go unpatched, and gaps appear. To see what that looks like in practice, let's walk through a scenario. Meridian Financial is a mid-sized company with 200 employees, offices in 2 cities. Not a huge enterprise, but not a tiny startup either. They have IT staff, they have a network, and they've bought the tools they think they need. Their internal network runs routers, switches, and remote access tools so employees can work from home. It's a standard setup. The IT team has been running it for years, and they're comfortable with it. It's a Tuesday morning. Employees are logging in. Network traffic looks normal. Nothing unusual is flagged. As far as anyone can tell, it's just another day. Then, someone notices something. Unusual outbound traffic. Data leaving the network at a volume and destination that doesn't match normal activity. A flag goes up. The security team starts digging. They trace the traffic back to a router, and they find something troubling. An attacker got in through Telnet, an old remote access protocol that sends data in plain text with no encryption. The router had Telnet enabled. Nobody had ever turned it off because nobody had ever written down that it needed to be turned off. They keep following the trail. Customer records, including names and account information, were copied and sent out to an external server. The breach is confirmed. Personal data belonging to Meridian's customers is now in someone else's hands. And it started with a single setting that nobody ever wrote down. Here's the thing. Nobody at Meridian did anything wrong on purpose. No one at Meridian did anything malicious. The configuration just drifted. A new router was installed a few months earlier. The tech who set it up didn't disable Telnet. Maybe they didn't think about it. Maybe they just moved on to the next task. No one checked because no document said they had to. There was no policy requiring it, so it never happened. So what was actually missing at Meridian? Not a security team, they had that. What was missing were the rules. The first gap, no rule requiring Telnet to be disabled on all routers. So some routers had it on. One of them got exploited. Second gap, no rule requiring a firewall on every router. The main gateway had one. A branch office router didn't. That's the one the attacker used. When there's no policy requiring it, it's easy for a device to get missed. Third gap. The compromised router still had a default local admin account that had never been removed or disabled. When the attacker got in through Telnet, that account gave them full control. No policy said to ban local user accounts on network devices, so the account sat there, waiting. This is the core idea of this whole lesson. The tools existed, the rules requiring them didn't. Meridian had IT staff, routers, and security tools. What they were missing were the documented requirements, the policies that said every router must be configured a certain way. Without those rules, devices slipped through, and that was enough. That's what makes this problem so common. Without a written policy, every admin makes their own call. That's not a criticism, it's just reality. If there's no documented standard, people make reasonable decisions with the information they have. Some configure devices carefully. Others move fast. One router gets configured securely, another doesn't. The network security depends on whoever happened to configure it that day. A security policy eliminates that variation. It's a documented minimum standard that applies to every device, every time, regardless of who sets it up. That's what makes networks consistently secure, not just occasionally secure. Let's make this concrete. With a policy in place, every router is configured the same way. Telnet is disabled on all of them. A firewall is required on all of them. Gaps don't depend on anyone's memory. The policy is the checklist. Without a policy, configurations vary. Some devices get configured securely because a careful admin happened to set them up. Others don't because a busy admin moved on. One forgotten setting is all an attacker needs. So here's the question this lesson is built around. What policies should have been in place at Meridian Financial? Take a moment to think about it yourself. What rules would have prevented this? We'll work through the answer together in the rest of this lesson. That's the setup. In this video, you saw why technical controls alone aren't enough and how missing policy requirements created the gaps that led to Meridian's breach. In the rest of this lesson, you'll explore the specific policies that should have been in place and start building your answer to the question, what rules were missing?